Hello, friends. It's Tom from Tom and the Tone Show. It's episode 4. We are live on the opening round of Augusta. It is Thursday, April 5th. I am joined here with my co-host, Big Tones. Tones, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing just swell.
Good. You had a big day of work today. I was home on my master's vacation, as is tradition. How was work today?
It was good,
Oh,
I
good.
guess. Yeah.
Oh, you missed quite a day. I'm just going to run through the leaderboard right now as it stands. It is 5:20 p.m. on the Thursday, April 5th. In the leaderboard is a classic opening day leader. His name is Hao Tang Lee. He is -4, tied with Tony Finau, who I'll talk about in a second. Henrik Stenson, Patrick Reed at -3, Charlie Hoffman at -3, Hadwin 3. And then you get all the way through the bullshit to Spieth at -2. And everything that everybody cares about when it comes to Augusta is Tiger Woods, who is 1/71 today. He played pretty well. I watched his entire round. He scrambled everywhere. He only hit 50% of his fucking fairways. He was scrambling all over the place in a course that's very hard to scramble because once you spray it, you're behind a whole bunch of trees for the most part. There's a lot of trees. So Tiger, I'm sorry, because I know you didn't watch it, so I just kind of want to preface it. Only hearing about Tiger Woods is really all that matters, I guess, if I'm going to tell you about it around at Augusta. But Tiger basically, he had it all working on the front nine, and then on 11, hit one into the woods. It's classic Tiger hitting into the woods off the tee box, and then he's behind a bunch of trees, and we were trying to get the gallery away from his line of sight from the green because he had to hit a low shot. Bottom line was fucking Augusta security. They couldn't get people out of the way, so he hit the shot that he wanted to get it to roll up the green, and then it just hit some guy right in the butt, and he freaked out. And then ever since then, it seemed like his momentum was down the toilet. But then he was able to birdie 17 and 18, or 16 and 17, par 18. So he went from 3 over to 1 over. Not the best day, but it's fine. Everybody knows that all you have to do is get into the Sunday round down by at least – I'd give it 7 strokes. You're still in it if you're down by 7 on Sunday. So we're in good shape.
So?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know a lot about golf, but that seems like a lot.
So the thing about Augusta, it's been 82 years of Augusta for PGA golf, and it's always been the same course. I mean, like always, like tiny little tweaks. Like they got rid of like a huge tree a few years ago. That was a big deal, but like not really, unless you slice into the woods, which is something Tiger has to worry about. But it's just such a great mental game because it's really not. It's a difficult course. It's really fast, but on Sunday they'll give you pins where you can if you hit it right down the middle of the fairway, then like it gives you a wide open shot, and you just have all eyes on you to make this shot. And you can. It's happened a million times in the past where you could be down that much and just go birdie, eagle, birdie on the back 9 and just be right fucking back in it, and it's incredible.
Yeah, I guess there has to be like a collapse on the other end too. You know, it can't just be
exactly.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest golf fan. I probably wouldn't even say that I'm a golf fan. But I do enjoy the Masters, and golf is always better whenever Tiger is, in the hunt, at least.
Yeah, and it's the first time since 2015 he's been playing in Augusta, and it's a big fucking deal. And the thing about golf too, I love Phil Mickelson too. You have such a good contingency plan as a casual golf fan. If Tiger fucks up, like he was 3 over today, and I was like, all right, if this goes way downhill real quick, at least Phil's in the mix and it's a later tee time because Phil plays the same game. He fucking sprays it off the tee and then he's got to hit these ridiculous fucking shots and it's a blast. And he's played the course 20 times. He's played I mean that's 4 rounds of 20. So he's been there longer than anybody on this golf course right now. And he just knows it more than anybody. It never changes. So that's what makes it so special. But we had a great fucking Thursday, great first round. I'm very excited to have off tomorrow. I'm going to be in New York City up in your neck of the woods.
Oh, no.
I'm going to, I'm going to get there early because coverage starts at 3 and nobody that I'm hanging out with gets out of work until 6. So I'm just going to get there early with my suitcase and find a bar and plant up and just root hard for T Woods tomorrow. He'll probably be teeing off around 12:30. But yeah, the Masters are looking fantastic. Also, one last thing, reigning champion Sergio Garcia shot a 13 on the 15th hole today. I was watching it all live. He pulled the full tin cup. He kept taking a drop and hitting it right back in the fucking water like a total douche. He was a 13 on the 15th. It's the highest score of any hole in Masters history of 82 years. Worst hole ever. He just fucking had a choke job.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, nobody really likes him either. So, I mean, there are people who come around on him, but like I never have. Most people are just like, nah, he's an egotistical douche. And today on the 15th hole, that kind of just showed his personality today. You know, he could have taken a drop about 100 yards further and been fine, but you know, he decided to just be like, no, I could hit this fucking shot. I'm telling you. And he tried it like 6 times and ended up walking out of there with a 13. So just to wrap up Masters talk, because we're going to try to get through this show at least through, you know, we're trying to keep it at 45 minutes. That's what everybody wants. Sometimes we tend to ramble like I am right now, but we'll try to eliminate that a little bit. So Tones, I know you're not a big golf guy, but give me one golfer. Who's your mortal lock to win this whole thing?
I forgot the first guy you told me to say, so I'm going to go with Tiger.
I told him to say Freddie Couples just for fun, but he doesn't watch. Just give me a golfer. Give me. You think it's gonna be Tiger?
Golfer. Yeah, I mean, like Tiger. Like the only other one I really know is well, I know Phil Mickelson, but who's the mechanic?
Miguel Jimenez.
Miguel Jimenez. My man. Is he in it? How's he doing?
I haven't seen his name anywhere, unfortunately. I don't even know if he's playing. I think he's like full committed to the senior tour. Even though most seniors play in the Masters, he doesn't have a green jacket, so actually he probably wasn't invited. You usually have to like win a tournament to get in here, and that includes senior tour. So he must have had a bad year.
Okay, he's the one that just always like ripping cigs. Like
he's got a cigar, and he's got a ponytail, and he drinks wine.
Yeah,
he's a pretty smooth operator. But I mean, I bet Phil money line 15-1, just $20. So if he wins the whole thing, it's $300. So he looks pretty solid. He's at even par right now. And the field, I mean, the leaders are only at 4 under. So this is going to be a tight fucking Masters. So that's what wrapping it back to my point to Tiger, him being 1 over. I mean, it's a wide open fucking field right now.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. So moving on from the Masters, we're going to do a quick rundown of the show. So what we got today, we're going to talk some baseball. You know, we haven't had an episode since opening day. Tones is at Yankees home opener in that freezing cold rain where you were telling me that you were taking a piss in a toilet and the steam came up. It was that fucking cold.
Yeah, that's when you know it's cold. It's not like I was taking a piss outside, like I'm in the bathroom where they have heat going on, but I'm taking a piss and there's still like steam just rising up out of the urinal.
Man, so that was an interesting game. And then we'll have some mortal locks based on what we've seen since opening day that include like AL MVP, Cy Young winners, and things like that. Then we're going to get into our world famous segments, even though we've only done 3 episodes and this is our 4th. They're almost world famous. We've had almost 16 people to listen to our podcast. So maybe it will be 17 by the time we get to our segment. Yeah, we got change my mind, a new segment that we're going to open up with. And then we have a Do You Remember? And then we have Tones Bones. I think he's got a bone to pick, and I do too. I got a lot of bones to pick, but I have one in specific based on what happened to me fucking today. And then we have Ask a Gay. That's the 4th one, and then we all have a 4-pack of questions that we'll get to. So jumping right into baseball, we get a quick rundown. Going back to the home opener for the Yankees, Stanton struck out 5 times, and he got booed out of the building. Okay, and the next day he ended up hitting a rocket. You know, I think he struck out the rest of his at bats that day, but he had a fucking yabo. But since Giancarlo has fucking joined our team, I mean, he's only been batting .217, which is, you know, rough when you're just looking at the numbers. But he had 2 home runs on opening day, and then that one on the second home stand for the Yankees. So far he's standing with 5 runs, 3 home runs, 6 ribbies, batting .217. I mean, so I
just want to say we've played 5 games already.
Yeah.
I mean, if you extrapolate those numbers, like obviously the average isn't good. That'll come. But I mean, 3 home runs in 5 games, that's like 90 home runs.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, you see a .217 average, the fantasy baseball brain of mine jumps out, and it's just like he's playing like shit. But I haven't missed the Yankees pitch, and he's striking out a ton, but it's nothing that we're not used to when it comes to Aaron Judge, because Judge is picking it up. He's playing pretty well, but then if he doesn't pick it up, then Didi, it's been fantastic.
We got Gary. I mean, we got Drury is having a nice week so far.
Exactly. There's no days off in our lineup when it comes to pitching. Oh, thank God I got through Judge and Stanton. All right, let me just take it easy and find my fastball again. And then you just one drifts right over the fucking plate, and Didi just rocks it. You know, I mean, he went 4 for 4 with 8 ribbies the other day. I mean,
insane. I mean, and the thing with Stanton and Judge is the same thing. Is, when you're a power hitter like that, that's just part of the game. Like, you're not going to hit 50 home runs and hit 320. I mean, that's just not. the whole thing is they're swinging for the fences, and sometimes you're going to miss.
And that's the thing about the Bronx is like when you are a power hitter, like you will be a hot or cold kind of guy if you are that mentality. Like last year, Judge was batting like 350 for like almost the first entire half of the year because his swing wasn't the intention of going out. He was just so big that they would happen to go out. But when you're swinging for the fences, your average is going to dip, and you're going to be about a 260 hitter. And when you sign a guy to this much money, and you're in the Bronx, if you're not making contact with the baseball, you're going to get booed out of the building. No matter if you hit 3 home runs the night before, then you come out and strike out 5 times in front of them, they're going to boo you. It's just the way it goes.
How it is. But one thing I did see that I liked with Stan is, he got booed, and they asked him about it in the post-game interview, and he said, I deserve to get booed.
Yeah.
I struck out 5 times. I get it. And what does he do the next day? He came back and hit a home run.
We're expecting rings. I mean, you can't be going out there striking out 5 fucking times, and he got that.
For sure. Right. I mean, you go 0 for 5, that happens, but throw ground out in there, throw a fly ball, something. I mean, but I mean, I know it's a very small sample size and it's very early, but I have a feeling he's one of those guys that, will thrive. Excuse me, will thrive under, the big lights, the New York pressure, like the media,
especially coming from a loser culture. He was coming from nothing but losing. Yeah. And Jeter was just like, here you go, guys. And I think it'll be fine. I mean, if he's not fine, as long as he's healthy and he's staying in that lineup, then like we have so much talent that's going to be seeing so many good pitches. Like Drury's just going to be seeing meatballs because he's fucking Drury in his lineup of all these fucking names.
Yeah, the pitcher gets down to like the 7 or 8 hole, and he's just like, "Oh my god, I'm exhausted." Just like
fucking Brandon Drury. Bang, bang.
Yeah.
So this has been an exciting fucking year so far. I think this is, I mean, obviously I'm not breaking any news here, but I think this is by far the best team we've had offensively on paper as long as I've been a Yankee fan my entire life. I mean, 09 was sick, but this is just way different. I mean, we're picking up an MVP.
We picked up an MVP, and we had the second place MVP, for the American League. And I mean, I'm trying to think back, like you look back at like the late 90s dynasties, like we weren't murderers row. Like we played good defense. We had timely hitting.
Those guys were the right guys. We may have overpaid them big time, but that's because we could, and we got them in free agency, and free agency always had to overpay. Because smaller teams have money saved up only for one guy, and then we have money saved up for 4 guys. And then like if we really wanted Tino Martinez, we're gonna offer double wherever he got offered else. So Tino got booed too in his one of his home openers,
Yeah. So he got off to a pretty rough start.
Yeah. And then look at that. I mean, even though I always bring it up, the 0-1 World Series, even though we lost it, I mean, that was probably the greatest baseball moment I've ever seen is when Tino tied that game up in game 3. But moving on from the Yankees, we're going to move on to the Oriole game. I'm not sure if you saw it. It happened a couple days ago. So Brian Dozier is freaking the fuck out because the Orioles bunted when they had their shift towards right field. And Brian Dozier's freaking out because the inning before, they did something out of respect. I didn't even really look into it. They were saying like, hey, like we could have turned a double play here before, but we didn't. It was something along those lines, right? He was saying like, hey, you owed us one. It's just called like, unspoken rules, tradition of the game. And you can't bunt on us when we shift right. It's like, well, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I can't stand these old school baseball hardos where it's like these unwritten rules. Like, I'm all for the mantra, like, win any way you can.
Yeah.
If this guy wants to give you an extra out by not turning a double play for whatever reason, that's on him. That's not. I didn't ask you for that. Like if you want to be a pussy, fine, be a pussy. But I'm going to take advantage of that.
Exactly. I mean, I do love unwritten rules of baseball. I do but this is different. This is just like it's coming off like him just being a pussy because they lost and it's so early. It's just like, oh, we had the shift on. Like, why'd you bunt? Like, play baseball. Like swing the bat like a man.
Why'd you?
That's where he was coming from. It's like, hey, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No, I mean that reminds me of I like him now because he's with Barstool with Dallas Braden. That whole thing with A-Rod when A-Rod ran across the mound after the foul ball and he freaked out like what the fuck? Like, I don't know, just like these stupid little rules. Like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the unwritten rules.
I'm not. I mean, I like when Whitey Ford or Goose Gossage is coming out and fucking like yelling at you, for these kids bat flipping and shit like that. That's different.
Yeah. But Goose Gossage needs to go away. He needs to just like go into retirement.
Goose is very close to saying something that he's like really going to get in trouble for.
I mean, they didn't invite him to spring training this year.
That's because they're afraid he's going to say something stupid.
Yeah. He's just one of those old people that, like, you know, as you get older, you just have less and less of a filter. And
if you go up to Goose Gossage and you're just like, "What do you think of Colin Kaepernick?" and stick a mic in his face, you're not going to get. You're going to get like a really bad response. Yeah. And the Yankees don't want anything to do with that. His old school thing is pretty much just racism.
What do you think of Black Lives Matter? Well, let me tell you about that.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started. But anyway, moving on from Goose Gossage and Brian Dozier, I guess we could both agree on Brian Dozier that he's just being a baby.
Yeah.
Just grow up, Brian Dozier. Jesus Christ. Shut your mouth next time. All right. Hopefully you can learn and move on. I'll wrap this up with the third point that I've written down. What's your go-to baseball food? What do you do when you get to the stadium? What's your favorite food? What do you look forward to the most?
I mean, we did this last week.
Yeah, on an episode.
Yeah.
So nobody's heard it. So you've ruined it. Now it's going to sound like recycling.
I mean, you know, a hot dog is always a good choice. I was saying at Yankee Stadium, Lobello's, the steak sandwiches, those are pretty good. I was there when I was there for opening day. I actually there's a little barbecue stand called like Quinn's or something, and they had pulled pork, but they also had the burnt ends.
Oh man,
they had a burnt end sandwich, and I got some hot peppers on top of that. That was fucking delicious.
What exactly is like? I haven't had burnt ends. Are those like beef tips? Like, is it pretty much pit beef?
Yeah, it's like I think when they make the brisket, it's like the edges that like get burnt, and they just like cut that off or something. I'm not even sure where it's from exactly, but it's fucking delicious,
man.
So I got that, and then you can't go wrong with some peanuts.
Can't go wrong with peanuts. That's the goddamn right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, when I go, I never indulge.
Yeah, I usually spend all my money on beer.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you go in and go full ham on barbecue, there's not going to be any room for beer, and you're just going to be sitting there as a fat, like, tired mess watching baseball. It's cold and raining, taking a piss, and steam is coming out. You just be like, oh, I shouldn't eat that barbecue. You got to have one hot dog and a bag of peanuts. And if there's room and it's late, Cracker Jacks.
Okay. Now, this is crazy. I was there, right?
You think it's my neighbor taking out the trash.
Oh, okay.
Well, what are you trying to guess?
Tell them to fuck off. They opened a new like a ice cream shake sundae kind of stand.
Dippin' Dots?
No, it wasn't Dippin' Dots. Like, it actually looks really good. They have like these giant like Yankee. They look like almost like the margarita cups, or like you get the frozen drinks in when you go somewhere.
That's too fancy.
It's not. It's like a plastic one. It's not crazy, but it's like one of those with like ice cream, and they got like brownies and cookies and shit. They have a s'mores one with like the roasted marshmallows on it. But this is what got me. We're at this Yankee game. It's got to be like 40 degrees, and it's just like raining the whole time. And these people are eating this fucking ice cream. Like, the line is like, are you kidding me? I'm standing there just like shivering, trying to like down my beer before the game, and I'm just like,
well, spin zone. At least they don't have to worry about it melting.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, I didn't think about that.
There you go. The only time I'm getting ice cream out of a ballpark is if it comes in one of those mini helmets.
That's absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Then you get to bring it home. You go to the bathroom, watch it out. Yeah, agreed. What kind of ice cream do you get? I don't want to delay this too much, but what kind of, like, if you were to get ice cream, like, what's your like type of ice cream and topping?
I'm usually gonna go either just like chocolate or some kind of like Rocky Road.
That's a good,
I'm a big chocolate. And then toppings, I'll go like Oreo crumbles or maybe some M&Ms.
You go with the McFlurry route.
Yeah.
You know what I do? Every time. I've been doing this since like 1998. Vanilla ice cream, chocolate chips. Forget about it. It's the best. Just douse it with chocolate chips. Oh, it's the best.
I can't argue with that. I mean, that's
next time you go and it's ice cream weather. Grab yourself a baseball helmet, a mini baseball helmet, vanilla ice cream, chocolate chips. That's all I talked about.
Yeah, extra chocolate chips.
extra chocolate chips. All right, we're moving on to our mortal locks. Right before we get into segments, we got 5 mortal locks. We will track these, and there will be accountability held. If you fuck up these, we will remind you, especially if you pick somebody to win the Cy Young and they're terrible. Every episode you will be reminded how bad they are, kind of thing. So number 1, Big Tones. Who will win the AL Cy Young and the NL Cy Young?
The NL, I have Mr. Clayton Kershaw of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And then for the AL, I have. I mean, this might be a homer pick, but I got Severino.
Sevy. So he pitched yesterday. He looked pretty solid.
Yeah, he's looked great this year so far. I mean, he's not great. He's looked very good.
Yeah, he looks very good. I'm always scared with him because there's so much expectations on him, and we only have a 1-season sample size. And in the Minnesota wildcard game last year, he really beefed up. But his fastball is fucking insane, and he's got everything that shows signs of being an elite pitcher.
They say he's been working on his changeup too, which if he could add a third pitch to have with the fastball, slider, and then the changeup, forget it.
Too many guys do that too late in their careers.
Yeah,
they find that changeup.
I don't understand. Like I played through high school. I stopped playing in high school, but even in high school, I had before I even developed a curveball, I had a changeup. Like it just makes sense. Like it looks exactly like a fastball, but it just like I don't get.
Yes, well, I mean, I only assume because I didn't play baseball. I mean, I did, but I was like 9. But I can only assume as an observer of the game, when you're really good based on your fastball, you probably just build around it. So you get pitches like your cutter and your splitter. And you make those kinds of things work. You don't even worry about off speed because it terrifies you because you're such a flamethrower.
Yeah.
That like throwing that, like you're afraid it's going to fuck up your motion. I bet like if you're trying to grip a circle change, like that's an aggressive grip of a pitch.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing with the changeup is you're supposed to have the same arm action. Like it's supposed to look like a fastball until the last second. So, and it is like it's a field pitch.
Yeah.
So if you sometimes you just grip the ball and you just can't get the right, it doesn't feel right. Like
you need to dedicate yourself to that pitch, like to the point where you're actually confident in throwing it in live games.
Yeah,
but that's what Sevs has done, and Matt Harvey's done the same thing. He's worked on his changeup because he's always been a fastball guy, but he's only doing it now after he's had arm surgery, and now his fastball pretty much maxes out at about 93 in live action. Even though I saw him throw 98 in spring training, I don't know if he's just like trying to tone it back and, like you just said, keep the same exact mechanics to throw a changeup like he does with the fastball. He's just trying to love it all out. But for my picks, I got Sale for the AL. I think Sale is just fucking dirty. He's got it all. He's got the slider, fastball, cutter, everything. He's fucking just nasty. As long as Boston can put up runs for him, I think that he'll end up being a 20-game pitcher, and struck out 300 guys last year. So, I mean, strikeouts will always be there. He hasn't been hurt, ever since he broke his foot in Chicago. But he hasn't had any arm issues, and the way that he throws is terrifying. So, but if he could stay healthy, I'd say he's the best pitcher hands down in the AL. And then in the NL, I mean, Kershaw is another guy whose fastball is now down to about 91, which scares the crap out of me. He's got a great curveball. He's just got to be a mentally different pitcher right now. I think it's starting to get to that point of his career where he's got to have that CC or Andy Pettitte kind of thing. Yeah. Like he still has like the best stuff in baseball, but he can't rely on his fastball. They're meatballs. I mean, 91 down the plate is fucking money.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's the thing though, is he was never like, yeah, I mean, I guess he used to get it up there, but he was never like a guy that would throw like 98, 100.
He was always like 94, 95, which is a big difference from 90, 91.
No, you're absolutely right. But he was always more about locating, which you look at CC, you look at Pettitte at the end of his career, which shows you like it doesn't matter how hard you throw as long as you can locate it.
Yeah.
Who is it? Oh, Jamie Moyer. Jamie Moyer pitched. He was like 57. He threw it. I think like his last couple of games, he was throwing like under 80. His fastball.
Oh yeah, he was like on those good Phillies teams. I think he was like he had a spot in that rotation for a little bit. And he was like 44, 45. Yeah.
He played like another 4 years after that.
That's because his curveball was gnarly, and Kershaw's got the gnarliest curveball probably in baseball history. Yeah. Honestly, other than maybe Maddox, I'd say his curveball is it's straight up 12-6 curveball. Yeah, but like it used to be different when like all of a sudden you open the game, you say play ball, and then he hits you with a 95-mile-an-hour like high fastball, and then he starts throwing those fucking located curveballs. That's different. But it's 91. It's like, all right, this guy's getting old. Yeah, like we got to jump on like all his slow shit. So it's about like trying to get some fastballs to work, and then make the curveball work right after that. Yeah. But moving on from that.
Real quick, by the way, shout out Jamie Moyer. He went to SJU.
Oh,
St. Joe's.
St. Joseph's. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he did.
Alumni. I don't think we have a fight song. I tell you, well, we probably do, but it probably sucks. Hawk will never die.
The Hawk will never die.
Keep winning championships. I think the Hawk is dead.
The Hawk will never die.
That's a totally different
dumb fucking motto.
Yeah, well, they're dead. Moving on. Who wins your AL, NL MVP, Stones?
Well, in the NL, I have Nolan Arenado.
Oh, same.
Yep. Out of the Colorado, the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah.
I can't tell if I'm talking about the team or the mountain, but he's up there
Colorado
somewhere.
Rockies. Go ahead.
And then in the AL, I have Michael Trout.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick.
Well, now especially it's a good pick because somehow, some way, against all of experts' opinions, Ohtani turned out to be pretty fucking good so far after that abysmal spring trading.
I think he was just goating everybody. He was like, no, I suck. And then he just, it's like,
liar. And he asked anybody his opening day or whenever he pitched. I think it was opening day. He was incredible. I think he threw 7 scoreless innings with like 9 Ks, something like that. That's just a ballpark, but it was incredible. And now he's already rocking the ball out of the park, and Trout's playing great.
Corey Kluber, he had a Cy Young winner last year. He hit a home run off of.
Yeah, I was watching that one. That was his second one. Yeah, that happened yesterday. I didn't see his first one, but the second one, I was like, okay, that was a great swing. This is Corey Kluber. This guy is he's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about him is he looks like he has the build of like an American player. A lot of times you see these Japanese players come over, they're a little more slight, like Ichiro.
I disagree. I think he's got that same exact Japanese way about him as everybody else has come over here. That way that he swings with the left foot.
No, for sure. Yeah, I mean, in terms of his mechanics, I mean, in terms of his body, like his girth, like his thickness, like he's got like the American muscle.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm trying to think back. I mean, Darvish, I feel like he kind of had that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got it a little bit. I mean, even Matsui, like, who was a power hitter.
He was a brick.
But yeah, but he didn't have that, that generic like American power hitter build, or even like the Dominican. Forget about the Dominicans. Those guys are built out of pure concrete. Like, I don't know what they do on that island. That's one of those things. Sorry, get a little sidetracked. You got on the same island, you have the Dominican Republic and you got Haiti on the same island. Have you ever seen a Haitian baseball player?
Oh, they're out there. I don't know if I can name any.
But how many Dominican baseball players are there?
Oh, many. More than most.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably like 30% of the league.
It just that was always just something that kind of was
it's unlike Cuba. Like the Cuban players who come in, they tend to be pussies. Those aren't good imports. But yeah. So you got Trout and you got Arenado. So I got Arenado too. Arenado is incredible. The Rockies, by the way, another sidetrack, we'll keep it quick. They just gave Charlie Blackmon the stupidest fucking deal of all time. They just signed him to 6 years to lock him up for a fucking ton of money, like over $12 million annually. And, their payroll is not that great, but they only have Arenado for this year and next year, $29 million a year. And then they're going to have to, you need Arenado. Like they're going to have to sign him to, 7 years, 32 annually if you're going to pay Blackmon 15. But that was a stupid move. He's 32 years old too. Like
and he's supposed to be like a speed player. He does a little bit of everything. But for you don't give that guy, no, I was gonna say for an older guy, especially like with a guy who's his legs are a big part of his game. You don't want to give him that big contract. Like Ellsbury.
Yeah, forget about it. He hasn't fucking played. Ellsbury was the same thing. When did we give him his contract? How old was he? 31? It's like the same thing.
I think he might have been like, maybe like 30, 31.
Yeah.
No, it's the same thing. And then, like you talk about Arenado's deals, up in a couple of years. Like if he leaves, like there's no way Charlie Blackmon is getting 120 runs or whatever he had last year.
Nor is he going to put butts in seats. Charlie Blackmon, he's average. He's been in the league forever. Like it was such a stupid move. I saw that. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? See, you need to save your money for Arenado.
He did have when they gave him the deal this offseason or the one before?
Last year, 2 years, $29 million guaranteed each year. So that just shows, he's the best player they've ever had since like Todd Helton in his prime.
I'm talking about Charlie Blackmon.
Oh, Charlie Blackmon I think they signed him like 2 years ago, and last year was his real breakout year. But like he just really resonated in the community. He's got his beard. He's a good guy, locker room guy. But to give him a 6-year contract to lock him up until he retires, I get that. It's good to keep a guy in town, but fuck that. Like you're not made of money like us. All right, the Rockies are not in the conversation like that with us and the Dodgers when it comes to payroll. You need to save that money for Arenado because if he ever hits the market, you won't be able to afford him.
No, yeah. I mean, look, I mean, I'm looking at his numbers right now, Charlie Blackmon from last year. I mean, 37 home runs, 104
It's great.
RBIs.
It was
Yeah.
great. What did he do the year before that though?
29 home runs, 82 RBIs, 324 average,
Okay.
111 runs, 187 hits. I mean, last year he hit 137 runs. That's pretty ridiculous.
Last year was weird because they juiced up the balls basically, so home runs were flying fucking everywhere. You know,
no, that's fair.
Like,
recurring
guest, the Heat, recurring guest. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think it's a weird move. We'll have to see, but I mean, they really don't have any standout pitchers. I'd rather them just rely on Arenado and get somebody else. I mean, you don't have to give Charlie Blackmon that much money. I mean, he's great and all, but you don't want to make him the face of the franchise. I mean, that beard's great and all, but it's fucking ugly. It's hideous, But fuck it.
Like there's a right way and a wrong way to do a beard, and I'll be the first to admit my beard.
You better be living in a mountain to make that thing work.
Right, with that kind of beard. Like you got to do it in a certain way. You have to let it grow, but you have to keep it, in line. You can't just let it go totally wild. Again, unless you're living in a mountain.
I look like I have pubes on my face. I'm getting a beard trim tomorrow though, so it won't look like that when I go to New York. I don't like to maintain my beard too well.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. All right. So mine are I had Didi. I got Didi locked up. I think he's just going to see the best pitches that anybody can see. That was my mortal lock for beginning of the season. I was saying Didi. As long as he bats fifth or fourth, if we start to move into seventh and eighth, he's not going to see the same pitches that MVP Didi could see. But if he's batting right behind Stanton, then I think he'll snag that and come out of nowhere. I don't know what his odds are on it, but it's he's definitely not being looked at. But it's
if you put him, let's say in the 5 spot. Oh no, well, I mean, with Judge been batting second, right?
Well, you're always going to have to. If Judge is going to bat second, it's always different. We're going to flip flop Gary and him based on if it's a lefty or righty pitcher.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, because Boone's an analytics dude.
Yeah. No, I like Boone. I mean, he's been we're going to see a lot of different combinations of lineups, guys at different positions, because we have some guys that we can move around, especially with the younger guys coming up, like Tyler Wade. He could play the infield and he could play the outfield. I mean, Drury can move around. He play the outfield, third, second. Walker, he could play first, second. Andahar, he's a third baseman by trade, but he's also in the minors playing at first. So
and we got Gleiber.
Gleiber,
they're ready to fucking rock.
Yeah, he could play short, second, third. I mean, I'm sure he could play outfield.
He'll play wherever we need him. Gotta make sure that fucking elbow. I've never heard of a player who's not a pitcher getting Tommy John surgery. By the way, that was a bizarre thing that we had to deal with.
It was just a freak accident. I mean, he got it sliding into head first into a base. It wasn't. It was his non-throwing arm. It's just like.
Imagine being in the position's just like he slides in a second. They do the diagnosis. He's like, he's gonna need Tommy John. Cashman's like, what? He needs Tommy John. He's not a pitcher. But yeah, those are my Arenado, obviously. So those are my MVP picks. Then I'm gonna skip to the home run king, because I think we're running a little long. So I want to get to segments, keep everybody fucking ready to rock. So this will be the final question of our baseball pack. Who do you think the home run king is going to be in 2018? Big Tones.
I'm going to go with Mr. Giancarlo Stanton.
Ooh. Giancarlo Stanton from the Bronx?
Oh, yep, the very same one.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Mike.
No, that's his cousin.
Oh, no. Okay. I don't overlook the fact that he changed his fucking name to Giancarlo. That was a fucking weird move, but he's on our team now. I can accept it.
But that's actually his name. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Once you're like a Mike Stanton, you just gotta be Mike. Like, you can't just be like, hey, my name is like, Bartholomew, and then you tell everybody your name is Bill, and then just be like, no, I'm actually Bartholomew. I'm gonna go by Bartholomew now. Well, everybody's been calling you Bill for your whole life. It's just like a simple, like, hey, Mike, hi, Bill, hey, James, like things like that.
No take backs. You can't change your name.
Yeah, you already went with Mike. Like, come on. But whatever. Maybe if you like, I feel like I wish you could have like an alter ego, like Undertaker, where you could be like badass Taker and the Dead Man, where like all of a sudden he's in a slump, and then like his theme song, Giancarlo's theme song changes, and he's got like a new bat and a new look. He's Mike Stanton. And everybody's like, oh God, it's Mike Stanton. And then he goes, Yabo. That's what he's gonna do.
Get him like one of those like skin like spandex suits, but just get it like black. So it's just like a black like face up at the plate, just like looking at you, like that'd be badass.
Yeah, exactly. And I have Stanton too written down. I think with this lineup, I think eventually Boone's gonna figure out exactly what to do with him in the lineup. If he keeps striking out at this rate, we might need a flip flop. Like might need to get Judge behind him. But it's so fucking early. There's so much to play around with. There's so many weapons that Cashman has provided Boone. So it's gonna be a fun fucking year. So we are done with baseball. We're moving on to segments. We're going to start with a little Change My Mind, which we came up with in the last episode. Big Tones is going to come up with an opinion of his, and then he's going to have to make me change his mind.
Okay. So you know what, we're gonna go with the one we did before. We'll go with Forrest Gump.
Boy.
Generally,
not again.
Beloved, renowned movie. Generally renowned as like a great movie. Everyone loves Forrest Gump.
American classic.
Except for me. I hate that movie. I love Tom Hanks. Like I love everything else he's in. I mean, it's
a good thing to say.
If
you're gonna hate the movie, at least say like it's not Tom Hanks' fault, because Tom Hanks he did it all he could for that movie in every movie that he's ever been in.
Absolutely, and I agree with that. It's just I think it's just a piece of shit movie. It's just
what did you specifically hate about it, Tones? I mean, what's your problem?
Just nothing grabbed me. Like I watched it.
Nothing grabbed you. What do you not care about Nam?
He won the Heisman. Now he's in Vietnam. Now he's running across the country. Who the fuck runs across the country? What a dumb fucking thing to do. Why would you do that?
Don't say dumb when we're talking about Forrest Gump. First of all, that's offensive.
A lot worse things.
Offend our listeners.
I can say a lot worse things about him. Believe me, and I did.
Oh my god!
And I will continue to.
Listen, the reason the movie is so great is because you get to look through the eyes of a yes man. And you get to see the history of America from like 1963, whenever Nam started, all the way through. I guess I'm trying to figure out what tie it all together. I mean, because it gets so sad with this kid and they die. I'm trying to figure out how the 60s end. We'll call it like 1980. He got to like the 80s, and then like they cut the movie off, so we never got like Journey, Metallica never made it into the scene. But you got to see everything really important from like JFK's presidency through Nixon's, and it was great. But you don't get to see it through perspectives like that. When it comes to like interesting American history, it's very hard to like get all of those key aspects into a film. So you kind of just have to throw Forrest's plot out of the window, with him being in love with Jenny and like him sitting in the bus stop and all his analogies, box chocolates, and him with his mom. It's just kind of seeing how America develops through the eyes of a simple man.
I can appreciate that, but I just like, it's just so like, I know it's just a movie, but it's just like so ridiculous that this guy's out here just doing all this ridiculous shit. Like this normal guy. Like if I want to see like, like the American dream, like I don't want to see this idiot running cross country. I want to see people like the Wolf of Wall Street who's out there like making money. The American dream.
I'll change your mind right now. Those assholes all have egos, so they'll sway it. This guy is egoless. He's got no ego. He's Forrest Gump. He's just like, yes, I'll do it. You want to go to Nam? Okay. Yeah, don't go into the burning forest, okay? It's just Forrest. He's a yes man. He's a great guy. And like they do a very good job of specifically detailing very important American events through a guy who doesn't really know what's going on, but he's part of it. So that way you can take it for yourself and see exactly what it was like to be in the Vietnam War and the 60s and the Beatles.
I get that, but I mean there's enough movies about the Vietnam War. There's enough stuff out there that if I really want to learn about that, I could go learn about that on my own. I don't have to watch this retard run around. Excuse my French. I'm sorry.
Over the line.
Yeah, I told myself I wouldn't say that this episode.
You can't sit here and say you don't like Forrest Gump because he's retarded. It was just pretty much what you just did, which is over the line. I think you just need to rewatch the film and check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I'll give it another go, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Give it another go. It's a timeless classic.
I've only seen it. I think I've seen it once all the way through, and then
And you're gonna sit here and tell me that it's bad, and you only seen it once?
Well, I mean, I've seen like other parts of it here and there, but it's just like,
give me a break.
It just didn't grab me. Like I was looking, I was like, why am I watching this? This guy's an idiot. Like,
watch it again. Unbelievable. you're gonna get yelled at. If we have listeners one day and people hear this and like it's a big audience, they're gonna be like, Tones is a moron.
Well, at least somebody will be listening.
Yeah, that'd be great. We're gonna move on to our next segment. Do you remember? All right, so Tones, do you remember the time that I accidentally put a foreign substance on my gooch for I accidentally mistook it for rash cream? I'm sorry, by the way, moving forward with these, like I feel bad I'm always doing my do you remember? Do I remember? Do you remember? You got to come up with some stuff too, and you're gonna have to come and fill in some do you remember stuff.
Yeah,
anytime. I mean, even have to St. Joe's.
The only problem is that like there's not much I remember from my time at St. Joe's.
Yeah, I mean, look who you're talking to. I do. You just got to dig deep.
Did we just freeze?
No.
Okay, you kind of froze on my screen for a second, but whatever. I'll cut this.
All right, cool. Well, do you remember? So I had a bad gooch rash for years, and I never really dealt with it. It was right in the right groin area. Just a
wait, hold on. Years.
I'm a lazy fuck when it comes to this shit. When it comes to medical stuff, okay. Like I'm just like it'll take care of itself sort of deal.
It usually does.
And I also am a big fan of the sensation you get when you scratch a rash. You know, like I'd rather keep it around so that way if I'm stressed out, I can scratch the shit out of that. Scratch it and just feel a little bit better about myself.
Oh,
yeah, fucking rash. Oh, fucking how does that feel? Well, one day it got so bad because I was scratching it so bad. And Joe was like, I have rash cream if you like need it. I got cortisone like cream. I was like, okay, like maybe one day. So one night it was like I scratched it enough where it was burning. You know, it was like a burning feeling. I was like, I got to get this fucking nipped in the bud. This hurts. I got to put cream on it. Just sleep on it. It'll cool it down. It'll be fine. And he's like, yeah, I got it in this plastic container, you know, from like the whatever that store is, the Container World. You know what I'm talking about?
Store.
Yeah, he's got like one of those big things where keeps all shit in there. He's like, yeah, I got the cream in here. It's like in the bag in my container under my bed. Now it's like 10:30 or 11 at night on a weekday. We're asleep and the lights are off. So I'm like, okay. So I grab my phone and pull out the flashlight. So I open up the plastic thing under his bed and I grab a cream and it looked like the cream that he was talking about because I guess I was kind of out of it, but it said Sensodyne. Okay. And to me, Sensodyne just sounded like it was what he was talking about when he was saying, like, you know, cortisone.
Skin, you know, sensa.
So, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I get like you're so stupid. That's what I get when I tell the story. I'm like, this seems like to make sense to me at the time. Like it wasn't until after. But anyway, Sensodyne is toothpaste. And I lay down in the bed and I
didn't know.
I grab it and I just rub it all over my up away in the morning. He's like, all right. And I'm sitting there, I was like, this is like intense. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, this is like a sharp, minty kind of feeling in my crotch. And he's like, well, it shouldn't be. I was just like, it's getting a little better. Whoa, like, no, it's intense again. And he's just like, what did you use? And I leaned over and like looked at it and I was like, Sensodyne? And then Joe just lost it. It's toothpaste. I had to run and wash it off. That's the story. That's the do you remember? You're gonna remember some gold stuff when we keep running through these stories. You're gonna remember some stuff.
Yeah.
If I can, you can. I was drinking way more than you were back in those days.
I was doing
just as like I wasn't like a Friday. I was a Monday. Like I'm gonna fucking skip class and have some beers today. Fuck this.
Yeah. You know? I mean, I got to sit down and think about it because it's definitely like I feel like it's one of those things. Like once I remember one thing, it's all just gonna start like
it's just
come flying back.
Like, that one time, like I took a shit in the laundry machine. You know, like oh, you know, it was me that whole time from the original. Do you remember? So that's do you remember? We're gonna move on to our third segment. It's Tones Bones.
Tones Bones. I gotta get a sound for that. I want to like record myself.
Yeah, I gave you a break in case you did have some. I didn't talk just that way in case you had something. But yeah, what's your bone to pick?
So my bone to pick is I have a couple of bones.
Do you write them down when you click on your Microsoft Word document trying to see your bones?
No, I didn't write them down.
Let me check it real quick.
No, hold on.
Pick your bone.
Okay, I'll pick a bone. I'll go with CBS again.
Oh boy.
So I'll quickly regale you folks on my bone. So
Sorry, I just farted for the microphone. We'll see how that comes out in post.
So this was during the March Madness, during the Final Four. So in my room, I don't have a cable box, so I have the Amazon Fire Stick hooked up to my TV. And there's a March Madness app where you go on there, and it's pretty cool. You just like go around, you click on the games, and it just throws it up on the TV. You could just watch it. This was during the Final Four, though, so there's only one game on at a time. The one I wanted to watch, which I also had money on, was
This is all your fault, by the way, based on where this is going. This is your fault not having a cable box.
I mean, I have a cable box in other rooms in my house, but like I just I don't feel like paying the extra money when I get most of the shit. Anyway, let me finish my fucking story, okay?
I'm sorry.
So
pick your bone.
You don't become between a dog and his bone, okay? So the CBS, the games, they don't play on the app because you have to download the CBS app. So I download the CBS app, and most other apps for channels, like there's an FX app, HBO, Showtime, whatever. You just sign in with your cable provider and you're good to go. CBS, however, somehow deep down just reached in and found the gall, not the gall, the audacity to charge $5.99 a month. $5.99 a month to watch their fucking shows.
Which doesn't even go on a month. It's them trying to trap you into signing up for that, so that way you can get the games in your room, and then you'll forget that you paid for that, and then it'll keep billing you until you remember.
That's exactly what happened. I just got charged the other day for it. It's just like I'm not like.
Well, might as well watch Will and Grace now. Like now that I have it in my subscription.
Oh, sweet! They got the new CSI Miami. Like, no,
fuck it, I'll watch that, and then I already paid for the next 30 days.
Oh, Mike and Molly, let's go.
Might as well just tune into CBS programming until it's time to quit this month.
I just become like a 60-year-old man. I just start wearing cardigans and drinking Earl Grey tea.
CSI Miami is on, Mom.
NCIS. I can't talk, guys. Yeah, no. So I was just upset about that because I don't know.
They got you right. They cornered you, and you paid the money.
They cornered me, and they fucked me. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. They just got me in the corner like, you ain't got nowhere to go now. You can't watch
the games, bitch. $5.99 unless you want to go fucking get a cable box, put it in your room. Yeah.
And the thing that really got me is I could have just went downstairs and watched it.
Yeah.
I could have just went to another room.
Brings it back to what I was saying. This is all your fault.
Yeah. But my plan was to cancel it because they gave you a week trial. So my plan was to cancel it. I just forgot.
Yeah.
So I guess
I did that exact same thing. I did that with the same thing with March Madness. I bought the PlayStation, the TV thing, whatever. I don't know what it's called,
like View or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like $20 a month, and I did the same thing. I had the 5 days free that they offered on the Thursday of the original March Madness, and I bought it then, and I was going to cancel it on a Sunday. I haven't canceled it yet, and that was 3 weeks ago. So totally I'm happy we talked about that. I'm gonna have to go cancel that because there's no need. I wanted to have because I have 2 TV screens. And one's a PlayStation and one's the actual cable box. So was the cool way to have dual screens. But I have a quick bone to pick too. I'm gonna try my fucking best to make it quick because I'm fucking pissed about this. This is a legitimate bone. People in Baltimore do not know how to cross the fucking street. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Every time I have a green light, I'm just driving along. Fucking people just cross. That's it. I have to literally slow down and stop for them to cross the street while I have the green light. I'm like, hey, Dick, you see that red hand in that fucking screen across the street? That means don't fucking walk because there's a car coming. And they do it. It's every day. It's every single citizen of Baltimore. I'm a New Jersey guy trapped in a glass of hell. Everywhere I drive, even if I have to go down the street to go pick up fucking groceries, people fucking crossing the street. I'm like this place has gone completely anarchy. This is why we have a 24/7 police helicopter flying all around. It sounds like a war zone.
It sounds like the Purge.
It's terrible. I mean, it's not the Purge. It's just fucking morons who don't understand what a red fucking hand means when you have to cross the street. It means oh, it must mean we should go now.
Yeah, he's waving me forward. He's just like, hey, come here.
And I'm just to be like, slam the fucking brakes. I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it. It's been every fucking day since I moved here 3 years ago. Oh, excuse me, 3 years ago. But yeah, sorry. I mean, that was a bone that I really had to pick.
Yeah, no, pick away, man. I mean, you gotta.
If anybody is listening to this from Baltimore, you know what I'm fucking talking about. Nobody knows how to cross the goddamn fucking street. And that brings us to segment number 4. Ask a Gay, a classic segment. What do you got? Ask me anything.
I don't remember what I asked you last time.
I think you asked me about otters.
Okay, the otters. I'm gonna change it up though.
You got like a list.
I got a list. In my phone, I have a list of gay questions. Okay, so here's a good one. So when you meet someone and you're about to do the deed, how do you figure out who's the top, who's the bottom?
Oh, you go over that way beforehand.
Way before. Okay, so it's like, hey, hi, my name is Tom. I'm a top.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I've only had dates via Grindr, and that's how you.
Okay.
You ask that.
That makes sense.
I haven't I don't know. I haven't done like go to a bar and like pick up a guy. Like I don't know how at all that I have a better shot of Major League Baseball than doing that. Like going to a bar and like finding a gay guy and just like going up and saying, "Hey, like you want to get a drink?" Like no. That is such an aggressive move. Like I'm literally as straight as possible, but this happens. So like, I mean, I don't know how to do that. So Grindr is the only way, but they'll always ask. Like, I'll be like, hey,
okay. Is there
nothing's going to my bum tonight? Okay. Like make sure you do this and that.
Can you tell before they say, like, can you just like tell by looking at someone, like the same way you have gaydar? Can you be like,
yeah, yes, you
that
can.
guy's definitely a bottom.
The fucking more sensitive you look, the more likely you are to be susceptible to the dick in the butt.
That's fair.
But if you look more like if you look like a man's man and you're 40, like you're definitely going to be taking dick. Like that's what they do. It's a weird spectrum. Like people my age are like 26 and like normal people. They tend to be just like me, tops.
Yeah. I feel like it's just like you get to a certain point where like you get tired of one thing. It's like, oh, maybe I'll try this out. And it's like, oh, that's not.
Yeah. Which is something I don't know if I'm going to have to do. Like it will literally be something that like if I do it, it'll be something that has to be done. I don't know. It's only been 1 year into it and I have no plans on it, but I also haven't met anybody yet. So it gets tough, but
yeah, I mean, this was kind of at a second, like a follow-up question. What do you do if like you're both tops? Like, do you just have a sword?
Oh yeah, it's happened. You just sit next to each other and whack off. It's the worst. It's a fucking race to the finish. And then if you don't finish first, it gets fucking rattling.
Well, let me ask this. What if you're both bottoms? You just like smush butts? Like,
I don't know.
How does that work?
I don't know how that works. I don't understand. I just don't understand how anybody could be a bottom. I always ask that. I'm just like, so you're a bottom? They're like, yeah. I'm like, why? That's got to be terrible.
Like, thank you, but why?
Yeah, like there's no way that is set up to be like feeling good. That just is definitely like you just being like, all right, I'll be the nice guy here. I'll do this favor, and then you got to take like lunch sort of thing. But some people actually fucking like it, and I'm like, you're fucking nuts, you're crazy.
Well, I mean, they say the prostate is the male G spot, so
I've heard that too. I'm not interested to find out yet. I'm a one-way street down there for now. I eat too many hot wings and stuff. I think we talked about poop on our last show or 2 shows ago too.
We did.
I'm just not interested in that. I don't know. It gets graphic with Ask a Gay, and we apologize to our audience. Sometimes we just really get into depth with these questions. But yeah,
there might be some poop talk.
How these conversations go. It's good to know.
Smushing butts.
They just rub butts. I don't know. It's probably the same thing as 2 tops. It's literally the most awkward thing. You just lay there. You're just like, you almost done. It's like, no. Go on with that.
Is it like butt scissoring? Like do they scissor with their butts, or like how does that?
The 2 bottoms?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. Somebody's probably just like, fine, I'll have all the fun. I'll be the one who blows the load. Just like in the male version of sex with a woman. But yeah, it's to answer your question, 2 tops, they just lay down next to each other and it's a race to the finish line and it's awkward. There have been several times where that's happened. I'm just like, all right, this isn't gonna happen. It's too much pressure. Just get out of here and I'll finish later. But moving on, thank you for that question. I'm sure our audience learned a ton right there. What time are we at right now? We got a 4-pack of questions coming up.
We're at 54 minutes, so I mean, we're going a little over, but we could get through it.
Yeah, we'll get through it. We'll take these first 2 real quickly. First question I got written down. What is your what do you think is the best baseball movie of all time?
So last time, because we already did this, we had a podcast that didn't make it maybe one day we'll release it if we got some fans that might be interested.
No,
But there was a lot of technical issues, so
that was all. That's why you don't have to keep reminding these people that we tested our poop.
Okay. So at first I said Sandlot, and then I thought about it, and I went with Major League.
Yep.
Major League. And you know what's really fucking with me right now is I can't remember if it was this question or the next question, but like 2 days after, I thought of a better answer, and I just can't like remember it right now for the life of me.
We'll have to see about the second question then, because the audience doesn't know.
Yeah, I'll see.
I'm going to go with Rookie of the Year. I'm a big Chet Steadman fan. I thought the story made sense. He broke his arm in a fucked up way. All of a sudden, he could throw, 105 miles an hour through 8 innings to start for a whole 162 game season. Recurring guest, the Heat. Welcome back, Heat. But I do think that Rookie of the Year is fantastic because of the up and down relationship with his friends. Chet Steadman ends up being a great father figure, and I think he ends up being his actual father. I don't think they actually confirmed that in the end, but it's safe to assume once he's his little league coach that he ends up being his father. But I think it's just an all-around great film. I got some laughs, got some cries, got some conversation out of it. I'm going to go with Rookie of the Year.
That's a good one.
I know it is. It's the best one. So that's how I know. Second question, sticking with the theme, which is the best baseball movie of all time?
Football. You said
football movie. We just did baseball. I'm sorry
about that. You go first because I'm looking through like football movies right now. I'm trying to see if there's if I could jog my memory. So you go. I'm listening.
Okay, my favorite football movie is gotta be Remember the Titans. But it gets kind of close because I love Varsity Blues and I love Friday Night Lights a lot. But I'm going to have to go with Remember the Titans because it was a movie in Disney's prime for making movies in the 90s. I'm not even sure if it was a 90s movie. It might have been early 2000s. But
early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, then the 90s ended whenever the Goo Goo Dolls did. That's my spectrum on the 90s. They kind of dragged on, like Three Doors Down, those bands. Whenever they stopped being popular, that's when the 90s ended. So it was like somewhere between 1995 and 2003. But I'd have to say that movie, going back to your hated movie, Forrest Gump, did a great job of depicting history in fucking Virginia in the 60s, like when they were just racist as shit. They're just total douchebags.
Very racist.
Yeah, and and Friday Night Lights is incredible, but Friday Night Lights is not based. It's based on a true story, but they got blown the fuck out in that championship game in real life. In the movie, they depicted it as the good guys, the Panthers, lost in a last-second effort to try to get in the end zone. Whereas if they scored on that play, they would have won. Nah, not how it happened. They ended up getting blown out by whatever that school was that they played. The guy with the lollipop who was always spinning his fingers. So. Yeah, it had to go Titans. The defense was one of the best defenses I've ever seen. And I hope Yost is in the Hall of Fame. He is in the Hall of Fame, if I remember that correctly. He shouldn't have ever been excluded from it for starting black athletes on his team. But
yeah,
movie is incredible. And it helped that he was in Armageddon, too. That also helps because you just know that he's a genuine guy when he acts.
Yeah, that's fair. I remember the Titans also. I think it was a baseball movie I was thinking about, and it wasn't even like that good. Now that I'm thinking,
was that Little Big League?
No, it was Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac.
No, that movie sucked.
I liked it. I know it definitely wasn't my favorite, but I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Little Big League was great. I still don't know the answer to that question when they asked in that movie. Like, if it takes me 5 hours to paint a house and it takes you 3, how long does it take us to paint that house together? That question still fucks with me. It's a 6th grade math question. I don't know the answer or how you get to the solution.
I don't.
That one guy's just like, what color paint? All right, question number 3 of our 4-pack. All of a sudden, you wake up and it's a zombie apocalypse. Okay, you wake up, you go out outside the door. It's just zombies. They're walking all over the place. You're just like, ah! Okay. What do you do, and how long do you survive for, you think?
So yeah, like I already have a contingency plan in place for if this happens. Like I've been planning for this for years. Like me and my brother, we've been watching Walking Dead since like the beginning. Now it's not as good, but yeah, no, basically, but we there's like times when we're just both like in our house and with nothing to do, and we'll just like walk around and be like, yeah, this is a good window. We could like reinforce this, like we'll move this couch over here, block that door. Like we have a whole plan. So the way my house is like up on a hill, and
How
I
big
got
is this hill?
my
From the street, from the regular street.
maybe like 60, 70 yards. No,
Okay, that's a big hill.
maybe a little less, but it's a big
your
hill.
hill in yards.
What?
Nothing. Never mind. So,
Okay.
all right. So you got all your contingency plans. So you're 60 yards above ground.
Yep. So I have a very good view of the surrounding area.
Okay.
Like, so
Sniper tower.
Sniper tower, exactly. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna move our cars in front of the garage doors to block them from like anything, because one zombie's not gonna get through. But if you got like 100 zombies pushing up against the garage door, they'll topple that shit right over.
Right. And we're talking about Walking Dead zombies too.
Yes, not World War Z zombies. So, we're gonna move our cars in front of that, so that way it blocks it. But also, if we need to make a quick getaway, like let's say somehow they break through the front door, we run through the basement, open the garage, hop in the car, just drive right down the street. There's also a hunting store not even a mile down the road from my house. So they got crossbows. I'm sure they got guns and shit, knives, whatever.
Everything you need.
Yeah, exactly. And I also know multiple people within, like a 2-3 mile radius that have that I know have guns. So I could just go kill them, take their guns.
Group up. It's like, have you ever seen Tremors?
No, I haven't.
Man, check it out. It's got Kevin Bacon in it. It's really good.
I met Kevin Bacon once, but that's no.
What?
Yeah. He was.
Five things of Kevin Bacon have touched us, Tom and Tones.
Yep. Yeah.
5 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Please proceed.
Yeah. So I'll kill them. I'm not gonna team up with them because I don't really like them. So I'll kill them, take their guns. Yeah, and then I'll just like bust it out of my house. Just
do that for years. So how long do you give yourself a survival rate? Because you're not gonna live for. I mean, with that plan, there's no way you last for more than 5 years, even if it executed correctly.
Yeah. Now that I mean, the thing about zombie apocalypse is you have to be
on the move.
You have to be good on the fly. You have to be able to adapt. Yeah. You have to be able to overcome. So that I feel like I could hold out in here for probably 5-6 months. I don't think I can last a year because eventually there's going to be a bigger group that's going to come along and they're going to be like, hey, let's be friends. And then they're going to try and kill me. So, but I think because I mean, if there's one thing Walking Dead or any zombie movie told me is there's no place that's safe. There's always something that's going to happen that's just going to ruin all your perfect plans. So.
You never know when the ambush happens. Some guy like farts and like they all hear it.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, that's a solid plan. I mean, for a little while, it could work. I'll tell you what I do. I mean, I don't know how or who I'd call, but I'm getting in the water. I mean, I got to get on a boat and that's it. And then we got to preferably friend of the show, Andrew McKenzie. He's got a sailboat. It's a small one and it's got no necessities for life on it. But because it's a sailboat, you don't need fuel too much. As long as you have wind, you're okay. So really anybody with a sailboat in a bay, we'd have to sail around there for a while. And then once it's really clear, hopefully we're near a supply store or a place where you could get supplies and you got to go park the boat and then you rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And the guy who's with the boat has the gun, like a rifle, who's on the watch out. And then, you got to go grab supplies and bring it back like a Foreman grill. And then you catch fish like that right there. If you get a Foreman grill on a boat, that's battery charged. It can't be plugged into any walls.
You saved yourself there because you said the same thing last time that we did this question.
Yeah, I've been thinking about
it. Yeah. No, I mean, even if you want to get real fancy, you could like steal a solar panel somewhere and like figure out how to rig it.
Exactly. But I mean, like the point is like being on the water, I think is your best bet because they can't like walk after you. As long as you're if you're in like a 20-foot, body of water floating, like they're just going to walk in Walking Dead style and then just like go to the bottom and never be able to get you, so you just have to kind of like avoid them and just kind of navigate yourself, properly. But
that's fair. But let me ask you this. I didn't think of this until right now. What if there's like, let's say there's a storm, like what if there's like a really like one of these hurricanes that's been coming up farther north every year, like a Hurricane Sandy or something. What do you do if that happens? And you're in a little sailboat.
Then we we'll have to drop an anchor and bunker up and drop the sails and hopefully stay afloat. That's it.
Yeah, good luck. I don't know. I mean, even if you like go onto shore, like you're still like the coast like gets hit the hardest. So I mean,
I mean, like we'd be in a bay, which wouldn't be as bad as the ocean. The ocean would be rough, but we'd be close to it. But the bay, I think, we can get our anchor down there and hopefully just stay afloat through the whole thing. But that could be a disaster. I'd give us, if we had a cap how long I'd live with this situation, I'd say 2 years.
Okay.
If I really do it right.
I mean, I was gonna say you might be better off just like sailing around up to the West Coast. There's not as many storms over there.
You can't. Were you going to sail from New Jersey to the West Coast?
No, it's not that far.
Columbus. You can't just do that. Especially if you're a bay, you'd have to get into the Atlantic and then like have this bitch little sailboat go all the way around the coast of Florida.
No, you just follow the coast. You just bring it all the way around. Like, I don't know. You stay within, like, yeah, you can't go out to sea with the sailboat like that. But if you follow the coast and you stop every couple days, get some shit, get some food, get some water, like I don't know. I mean, it's possible. It's hard.
It would be great to have a motorcycle too. That'd be badass. But it would also be bad because it's so loud.
Yes, yeah. I was gonna
say it wouldn't be badass to have a motorcycle, but it would at the same time.
Because one of the characters in Walking Dead, he's got a motorcycle. And that's always been one of my biggest pet peeves. He just rides around and like it's nothing. It's like everybody can hear you for miles.
Hardo. Exactly. All right, that brings us to our fourth question of the fourth pack to wrap up the show. Where, in your opinion, is the worst place to crap your pants?
You take this. Oh, wait, no, a plane.
Was that right on the spot?
Yeah, I was just like, because I knew you added another question, and I didn't like really think about it until like right now. And
my curveball.
A plane, yeah, because I mean. You shit yourself on a plane. Like, at least if you're like, at the bar or if you're at school or something, you could go in the bathroom and like dispose of it. But like, if you're on the plane, like those bathrooms aren't very big. You're not gonna be able to like hide that very well. You're not gonna like, there is a garbage, but it's just gonna be sitting there like 2 feet from like the next person that comes in to take a piss's face.
Yeah.
And everyone, like, if you shit yourself in your seat,
people are gonna be like,
yeah. And then they see you waddle into the bathroom with the brown stains in your pants. I was like, oh, that guy just shit himself.
Yeah, you definitely got to go to the back bathroom of the plane so that way nobody sees your butt, because nobody like whips their head around to go see if you like crapped yourself unless there's evidence that was already there.
Yeah, unless you smell something, you're like, what the fuck was that? Oh, he shit himself.
It would get so concentrated too on the plane.
And it just gets recirculated in the AC. Just keeps going around. The whole plane just covered in shit.
That's a good one. I had Easter Mass.
Because church was also one of the ones that popped into my head first.
I had church too originally, but then I specified it to Easter Mass because Easter Mass you got to wear khakis, so that's like no good if the poop leaks through both layers of your boxers and into your khakis. And then also it's quiet and you're packed in, like unlike a plane, even though a plane is only 3 people in a row. A church is a few, and you could be very screwed. And like I'll say, you're like, mwah, and you just like I have to go. Like it's quiet, and it's Easter. Christ just died, like, and he's rising, and you crap your pants. Like, no, there's no time for that. You can't just get up. You just sit there. And the silence is deafening in Easter Mass.
You just got to pull the move, like when you're at like like a sporting event, and you're trying to get out of your aisle, but you don't feel like walking in front of everybody, so you just like hop over the next aisle.
Imagine shitting your pants in Easter Mass, and like communion is like coming up in 5 minutes.
That actually might not be so bad. It might not be so bad when communion is coming, because then you, in the whole commotion, you could just like sneak out to the back.
Yeah, but then you're gonna be a guy like, why didn't you get communion?
Just be like, I didn't. What's the thing when you go confess? I didn't do confession. So because that technically that's a rule. Like according to the Catholic Church, if you receive communion without taking confession, that's a mortal sin.
Well, that's bullshit. I think that rule has evolved. That's a baseball rule.
I mean, it's an unwritten rule.
You gotta confess before you take communion. Nobody does that.
I know. No, I mean that's just like I remember learning that like in high school. It's like, well, that's fucking stupid. It looks like everyone's just going to hell. which apparently isn't real anymore, according to the Pope.
I gave up hot dogs for Lent, Father. I had one on Thursday. Give me a couple of Hail Marys and on our Father. We'll call it a day.
Isn't Easter Mass like a really long one too?
Yeah, because the reading is the goddamn whole scene of him dying.
Yeah,
There's a lot that goes on. You see, they might as well just put the Passion of the Christ on a TV and just let you sit back and enjoy.
They have to
not enjoy, observe.
I enjoyed that.
I actually didn't. I love it's one of the movies that I rewatch all the time, and it's that good. It's in subtitles. I rewatch it all the time. It's just, I mean, the story of Jesus Christ is action packed. I mean, nobody can deny it.
That's the Mel Gibson one, right?
Yeah, it's action packed. I mean, you believe it or not, it's an action packed story with Jesus Christ.
I get that. I mean, I actually I only watched it one time. I didn't watch it all the way through because I was watching it. I was younger, like when it first came out, and I was in my house watching it, and we lost power. Right there's one scene when he's at some point he's carrying the cross and he looks into the crowd and he sees the devil looking back at him or something like that. And it just the power went out on that face. And I was like, nope, no more. Not watching.
No more sleeping again for the rest of the week.
Yeah. Not watching that again. So, yeah. I had my experience with the Passion.
Yeah. Jesus, that story is fantastic. He just got the shit beat out of him.
It's a good story. That's for sure.
And people wonder why some other people are anti-Semitic. You see a movie like that, you're just geez, what's your problem? Oh my God. Hate to close on that note. That was just a fun joke. Come on, we're having fun here. That is episode 4 of TNT. The first show, really, of many more. We had a rebirth of this show. Now that we can completely dedicate ourselves to this show, we're not doing any other podcast outside of this, so we can focus on this.
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna have some fun with the show. Tones, you got any post-show thoughts?
No, go Yankees.
Go Yankees. Let's go, Phil. Before you turn us off, Phil's got a big shot up here on the 17th hole. It's going, and it's getting close. It's getting close. He's got about a 4-foot putt for a birdie. That's a huge shot. Okay. All right. We're going to be in it for the Masters tomorrow. Well, at least I am. We will get back to you with a Tuesday show. Saturday show has to get canceled because I'm going to be in New York, unfortunately. But we will be back with a Tuesday show. We'll be back on regular schedule next week. Thanks for tuning in to TNT. We will see you next week.